Alright guys, I'm back again for another walk in wild camp, this time in the woods. Not the forest for a change, I fancy something a bit different. And as usual I'm on my own, mainly because I've got no friends, really no mates. I'm actually walking along River Wansbeck, not far from my home, between Morpeth and Bothal. Beautiful place to walk. And I've got some gear to try out. Just bought the Alpkit Hunka Bivvy and DD hammock, super light top, a 3 metre by 2.9 metre, very lightweight. And my quest to go more minimal. That's beautiful, that. The stone viaduct that spans the Wansbeck. You can see it a lot better now those leaves are coming off the trees. I'm here quite regular in the summer because I fish this stretch. Can't really fish at the minute because it's close season. We're in October now. In fact, the clocks went back last night, so it's getting dark around 5 o'clock, which gives me about 3 hours to find somewhere to find a nice place to camp. That's lovely, that. Lovely bit of architecture or craftsmanship, whatever you want to call it. Stonework. And Mick, if you're watching, you inspired me to come along here and film it. After watching your video, you made a really good job of showing this place. You kind of inspired us to film it myself. Although I'm along here a lot of the times in the summer fishing, like I mentioned, but alright, check out Mick's channel, I'll put the link below. Well worth a visit. He has some really nice videos. He's a fellow Northumbrian. He only lives a couple of miles away, and he seems to know all these beautiful spots, beautiful places to visit. Some of them I know quite well, but others I haven't discovered yet, so he inspires me a little bit to get out and visit some of these places, you know. And this walk follows the course of the Wansbeck from Morpeth all the way to Bothal, and I'll be looking for somewhere to camp along the way. I've got a few places in mind. Lovely place to camp this. Already got a picnic table, it's a nice flat area. Lovely and shelter from the wind. Only problem is there's too many people are walking this part. Only a couple of miles from Morpeth, and it's quite a popular walk. Never mind, we'll keep going. Nice place to stop for a break anyway. You know, I used to read a lot about the local history of this place years ago, and it's just, I've just lost it all. I've got a mind like to save. I reckon as you get older, your memory gets worse, and I find it difficult to remember stuff. And it's got to be one of the loveliest places to walk, you know, on the River Wansbeck. We live in such an industrialised area in the northeast. You know, a couple of miles from here, it's the scars of industry, the coal mines, spoil heaps, etc. But tucked away in little pockets of places like this, you know, Bothal and the castle, it's like you're walking into a different era. It's like the land that time forgot. It's a beautiful place. Yeah, this could be a nice spot. But I'm going to have a little wander. I'm going to have a break. Blimey hell, what we've got here. I'll tell you what it is. This is an excellent find, this. I never realised this was here. I can explore this. It's like somebody's erected a secret camp. It's gotta be my camp for the night, this. I think somebody's made a bit of a fence. Look at that one. That little area there. Even got a Tarza. Look at that. What a find. Even got a little place for the fire as well. You know, for an emergency shelter, well, I wouldn't say it's somebody's obviously made this for long term. You know, I could just bivvy in that. I wouldn't even need to put my tarp up. Which is defeating the object of me coming out today, because that's what I want to do. I want to try out a new tarp. Look at that one. Looks a bit more better protected. It's amazing that. Got up here. Nice and flat up here. Here's another little place where you can put a fire. Looks like it's been a while since it's been used. Well, this is as good as it's going to get for me. And there's no really any large limbs that's going to fall down either. I mean, look, they've even got seats. Somewhere to put your feet. And they've even left a bit of kindling for the next fire. I'm going to call this place the secret camp. Not a secret to me anymore, but I'll be telling many people where this place is. Yeah, I'm wasting time here. I'm not chuffed with myself. It's just like a weary traveller. It's just like, you know, at the end of a long journey, it's like finding a hotel in the middle of the woods. Well, a bit of a primitive hotel, but or guest houses. You know, I said I was going to put a tarp up, I'm not going to bother. It's just that wind, it's really picking up. And the best place would be in this area, the secret camp. But if I'm going to have a fire, the top, the fire's gonna possibly burn a hole in the top. It's a little dip and it's really well sheltered. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna sleep in one of them. How cool is that? Needs a bit of work done to it. There's a bit of a pointy bit of wood sticking out there. I don't want to hold me bivvy. I don't think it's really waterproof. It'll keep a light shower off as though. Have a look. A bit to show you better in the morning. So you can see daylight through there, or twilight. Looks like the stars twinkling. And you know what it is? This is as good as it gets. Have a little fire out there. Got a seating area. Even though I want to try out my new tarp, it's actually this is the best option, sleeping in here, because it's getting dark. You know, I've never first time I've used the tarp, it would have meant, and that wind's picking up, it's blowing virtually a gale up there. You know, but every now and again I'm getting a gust of wind. But I'm gonna give myself such a chow and try to get that tarp up. The best option is just to chill and just, you know, roll out my bivvy and just get in that. Get a little fire going, cook some food, you know, tell manly stories to myself. Oh dear me. I think trees are swaying. But that's really gonna come down on top of us. That's no like really, yeah, trees can fall sideways and you know. I can hear rustling. I'm getting spooked here, you know, but yeah, I'm not trespassing or anything. And I keep repeating myself, but oh, hey, this is going to be a future haunt for me. This place. See what I'm going to do? I'm going to throw some leaves on top of that debris shelter because I can still see a few bits of light coming through, just in case it does rain. Because it is forecast for light showers, but not much. I mean, it's autumn now. There's plenty of leaves. Just get that thrown on the top. You know, so when I do turn in, I'm going to have plenty of air. It's going to shed the rain, I'm going to get plenty of protection. As you can see there, it's on a bit of a slope as well. It's been made against that tree. The tree's like the main support, and they've used I don't know what you would call it really. It's a debris shelter, but it's made into a kind of dome. Yeah, it's primitive, but it's effective. And when you're in, I mean, you just can't feel that wind at all, or very little of it anyway. That's me lying in the bottom there now. My legs is going to be sticking out, obviously. Just sort of like sticking out a little bit, maybe it's a foot or so. It's the door. Switch the light off so you can see anything. That's directly overhead, but to the sides you can see a little bit of light coming through. The other side. So that's my shelter done. It'll be easier putting the tarp up anyway. Look at that, man. It's wild out there. The trees are creaking and they're swaying. And every now and again I can hear a pheasant. Oh. That is comfortable, that, and I'm not even on my mat yet. I'm gonna enjoy this. Right guys, I'll give you a look, show you what I've done. I've just basically put my ground sheet down for now. And I roll everything out just as I'm about to turn in, because the last time I was getting loads of spiders and all sorts getting into my gear, so I learned the lesson that time. That's me Thermarest Pro Light, my sleeping bag, my new Hunka Bivvy, and that was my DD top, super light top, which I was going to use tonight but found something better, so that can stay there. The good thing is I don't have to take it down in the morning. Got a bit of a pillow and lie in my coat. I've got a few places where I can hang stuff. It's a spare torch. And I'm quite chuffed with this actually. I mean, I'm coming back again and I can always chuck a bit more debris on, make it a bit more windproof and waterproof, but for now it's doing the job. Right, so that's that. I've made good use of that swing. I've got my backpack hanging off it there. So basically I can access my water. Got 3 litres of water in there. The fire's ready to start. I've got the wood divided into nice little piles. I've got the really small stuff there and the leaves to get the fire going. And I've got the kindling. And the bigger stuff, the fuel. And on the end, I suppose, burn a few of them stumps. And then out gets wasted in the woods, everything gets recycled one way or another. So that's enough there for cooking. I'm not going to be gone daft, you know, lighting fires and keep it going all night. I'm just going to cook and let it go out. And that's my little chair I'm going to sit on. I'm going to light a fire, a method I tried to light the last time, but I failed miserably. I'm going to use a traditional flint and steel. And I think the reason why I failed the last time was basically my stone, my flint. I had little bits and they weren't very sharp on the edges, and I wasn't getting very many decent sparks off it. I've been to my local beach, and that's a good idea. It's a good tip. Check along your local beach. You'll be surprised, you know, they look like nice big smooth pebbles, but you know, a lot of it's flint, and they're razor sharp there. Char blown away. Now, I'm not sure if this is going to work or not. What I think I'll do, it's actually starting to rain a little bit, so if this doesn't work I'll have to try something else. It may not work because of the wind and the rain. I've got, it's like the paper bark, it's the really dead thin stuff. I've actually gotten that to ignite with the char before, but it's blown everywhere. I'll give myself a bit of a chow in here, like. Got some dryer lint, got some pine resin. So I've got, you know, I mean, you could call that natural material. Well, is it natural materials? It's not, is it? The dryer lint. I suppose it comes from cotton, but it's not something you'll find in the woods. What I'll do is, I'll see if I can ignite the char, and I'll try and see if I can get the birch bark to ignite from the char cloth. Now, maybe it'll work. already. Everything's starting to get a little bit wet. It's just the odd spot of rain. It's nothing really bad, but it's more worried about the camera, you know, getting wet. You see that? Spark straight away. So that was my problem the last time. I was using decent stone. Look at that, man. First time. Put it on the birch bark. Birch bark's charring. Doesn't seem to want to get up there. Just get you on, zoomed in on there, guys. Scanned up well, that. Get all these smart twigs on. The sticks are bone dry as well. Look at that, man. The wind's got a canny blow on the flame. I'm not even have to blow on that. Oh, will I? Very good, was it? Managed to get it going, but the birch was like a flash tinder. Just went up and let's try something else. That's it. Dry island. I would have used birch bark, but I've run out of it. it looks like we're getting there in the end. Doing. I think for good measure I'll put some of this resin on. Well, I got there in the end, guys. Perseverance. I think if I wasn't faffing around as much the first time, you know, adjusting the camera and that birch bark would just seemed to burn out so quickly that I didn't get enough kindling on there, so I think that's why it went out. Right, food wise, got a couple of chops and a smoked pork sausage for the barbecue, got the 2-in-1 coffees, got the super noodles which are about a year out of date but should be alright. Mug shot, that again is a year out of date but should be alright. Chocolate bar, I've got some nuts in my bag. And with it only been an overnight, I mean I've got plenty of bait there. So what I'll do, boil the water, make a brew with some of the water, use the rest of the water for the noodles, and then that should be dyed right back, and I'll find that big grill that I've got somewhere. There it is. I'll find a couple of stones, and I'll put the grill on the edge, something like that, and cook them chops. Put that on. Pitch black already, 6:30. Aye, British summertime's ending now, but it doesn't feel like winter. And that's where I'll be sitting on my little seat there. Oh. Doesn't get much better than this. This is where it's at, guys. Wild camping in the woods. What's that doing? See how that ash has blown all over. It's getting right in the chop. Need to put some coals under there. Still enough heat now, like to cook them chops. And keep what I'll do, keep the fire going on that side, and then just keep pushing the coals under and grill on this side. And the wind seems to be blowing more across that way, so even though it's swirling around a little bit, there's more chance of, it's best to keep the fire on this side. Never mind, get them noodles sorted. Put that back on the fire for 3 or 4 minutes. You see how it'll get out of hand, you know, if you're not careful with it. Just bland all over. Get one of them on. Small log. Some hot coals under. Easy in there to cool. The chop's looking chop-tastic. Look at that. Oh yes. Food fit for a king. Well, that's me chopping the noodles ready. I'm not going to bore you with the eating. And I've got the next chop on there. So I'll just get tucking into that and catch you all later. Yeah, that's me food gone. Chops are lovely. Noodles are a bit synthetic. They don't taste very nice. I don't know why I bought buying it. And I rinse this out. Boil some water, have a cup of coffee, and then turn in, have an early night, because no else to do, is there? Ah, it doesn't get any better than this, does it? This is where it's at, sitting around the campfire, listening to the wind howling through the trees, wondering if there's a tree going to fall down on top of you any minute. Oh dear me, I hope there isn't, mate. Because them trees are creaking and groaning and twisting and they're making some strange noises, creaking. I don't know. I just hope that wind dies down. Every now and again it picks up like it's doing there. It was a little bit dangerous for cooking that, so I'm just going to sit here and enjoy Mother Nature at her very worst or very best, whichever you want to look at it. Need rest for the wicked, eh? Oh, the pain. How old age that? Right guys, I just want to show you my top tip for this evening. A little bit of water. And you just put a bit of washing up liquid in. You don't need much water. Give it a swirl. And if, like me, you forget to bring a tea towel, you know, don't be afraid to use inside your jumper. Okay. That's my top tip for the day. And some people are going to scoff at us, but I'm going to get a bath tomorrow when I get in, so I'm not really that fussed, to be honest with you. It's clean, it just needs to, you know, wipe away the soapiness. Right. Nice and clean. Second tip of the day. Now these high carbon steel blades, I've seen me prepare food, get the blade wet, and then just the next day when I've woken up, 8 hours later, they start to rust, you know. So my top tip, it's not really my top tip, it's just, yeah, I don't know, I've just got to pour half through there. My tip is rub a bit of olive oil, not engine oil, because obviously you're cooking with a knife. A bit of olive oil, which you could use for your cooking anyway. Just rub it on your blade. And also rub it into the scales as well. So now that blade is lovely and protected, it won't rust overnight. Because I tell you what, it is high carbon steel. It's a funny metal, because it will rust virtually, you know, in a few hours. You'll get surface rust on it if you're not careful. There you go. It's not my idea, it's something I picked up, but it's my tip for tonight. Damien's campfire tips. Hello mate, I'm walking. Coffee tastes much nicer when it's made in the woods on an open fire. even when it is just out of a packet. Right, you've heard enough of my waffle. I'm going to switch off because I haven't got much battery life. In fact, it's on the red there now, and I've got one spare battery for tomorrow, and I don't want to start eating into that. So I'll let you know what I think of the bivvy tomorrow when I've done a little bit of a test in it. Right, so catch you tomorrow. Bye. Morning. I have to say last night's count was a success. It rained for a couple of hours and the bag got wet because I'm sort of half in and half out that debris hut. The bag got wet and I was lovely and dry, so the bivvy did its job. It only went down to 15 degrees Celsius last night. It's so mild for this time of year, it's unreal. But I didn't sleep straight away. I think it must have been about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning I finally got to sleep. The wind was howling through the trees, they were clacking together, they were creaking and moaning. And although there's nothing above me that will fall down, there's trees on the slope which are on an angle. You know, that some of them are sort of like that. And you just never know when a tree will come down. It's more likely to come down in the wind, obviously, but it was just a thought of that. But eventually I did get to sleep, and I must have slept solid for 5 hours, so that was good. Right, I'll give you a look at my setup. And as you can see, what I found out was I threw some more leaves on the top because it was a little bit patchy. But what a well-made piece of work that is. I mean, I could have, still needs a bit of work done to the sides. You know, it's got me thinking, you know, it might be a few years old, this. I mean, just what a find altogether. Whoever's made this has obviously been back and forwards a few times, improving on it, because this wasn't done in a day. It was such a pleasant surprise walking into this place last night, because I was wanting to look for somewhere off the beaten track, because I was right next to the river and there's people walking their dogs and that, and I just wanted to find somewhere that was a little bit more sort of like hidden. And I thought, oh, you know, it's going to be getting too late, I'm gonna leave myself a bit of a chow and, you know, put my tarp up and that. And then just walking into here, look around the corner and see Ray Mears or somebody sitting there carving spoons. You know, I thought that there must just be a way for a walk or something to be back shortly. That's more like, you can only get one person in there. And I suppose, you know, it's a way you could bring your wife on holiday, couldn't you? It's like that could be like the Queen's Chamber or the marital suite or whatever. If you're going on honeymoon, you can bring her here for one of those primitive style, get back in touch with nature type holidays. You know, keep it simple, stupid. And then if you fall out for the night, that could be like the Huffy room, couldn't it? Oh dear me, I'm losing it. If I had to weigh up the pros and cons of this compared to me army bivvy, this is 376 grams, so it's a lot lighter than me army bivvy, which is 820 grams, so it's less than half the weight. It packs down to about half the pack size as well, so it's a little bit more compact. I mean, on the downside, you know, it's difficult to get a sleeping mat inside. You'd be better off buying the extra large, even though there's only 18 centimetres difference at the shoulders. You know, you're paying an extra £15, you know, £45 instead of £30 for the small. You know, it's not that much wider, but it's wide enough so you can get the mat in. So if you're a bigger person, I mean, look at me. I'm 5'6". I'm not very. I'm not slim anymore. Yeah, I've got the middle-aged spread, but you know, I would say medium build. And I got inside it at home. I tried it out. Got my mat in. My down-filled sleeping bag, which was only 3 seasons, so it's not a massive bag. And I felt that it was a bit tight, and it was compressing the down, so you could get a cool night's sleep. But if it's a 2-season sleeping bag, you'll be fine because you don't have to worry about it getting compressed. So bear that in mind. I mean, I don't mind lying, as you can see, on top of me mat. It doesn't bother me. But if you're up a mountain somewhere, you might, you know, if for whatever reason you might roll off, and the wind catches it and blows it away where you've lost it. But I mean, there's ways around that. You can always find a way of holding it down, perhaps, you know. But bear that in mind. It's a brilliant bag. It's not as breathable either. It's I don't know what the figure is. It's 10,000. Is it MVP? That's the amount of, I'm not quite sure it's a technical term for the amount of moisture it'll pass through the membrane per hour. It's less than half the breathability of Gore-Tex in Event. And I mean, I don't want to get into Alice discussions about which is the best. Some are saying Event is the best for breathability. For me, it doesn't bother me because I never sleep with my head inside the bag anyway. So condensation's never been an issue. The condensation will never be an issue for me, or very unlikely to be an issue for me with this, because to me it's a sleeping bag cover. I'm not going to treat it as a one all shelter. You know, I'll always use it in conjunction with something like this, a makeshift shelter or a tarp. What I noticed was when I bought it, although the stitching and everything's fine on the outside, I reversed it because I like to check everything, you know. Tape seam was put down on a raised bit, which was like the stitching, or a little bit of the fabric that was sticking up slightly. It's split when it, under the process of it being like put down, and it was only a millimetre split, and I thought I'm not going to send it back for that. It's a in any, I mean, they're well produced bags, they're well made, but in any manufacturing process where things are mass produced, you're going to get faults. The reckon quality is a journey, not a destination. You can never get 100% quality in any manufacturing process. So I've got some tent seam sealer, and I thought, for the sake of a very small hole, I'm just going to fill it with that. What I did, when I thought it might leak, it might not, so I put it in, I filled the sink with water, and I stuck the bag in, and it was only like, for about 10 seconds, there was only like 1 or 2 small drops of getting through. But I thought, well, it's still a leak, that's extreme. That, I mean, I would never ever be under them conditions, because like I said, I've always been there at top. So I thought I'll just seam seal it rather than send it back, because to me it's just a, I'm waffling, aren't I? But never mind. I can't fault it basically, and I'm sure if I'd sent it back, I would have get it exchanged or repaired. And I like how the bag is attached to the foot. See that? And you kind of like it was a little bit confusing at first, but that's like the bag. The way it would sort of like be as if it was, you've been lying on it, you kind of reverse it. Easy way to remember as well, so that grommet, you can see it on the outside, and then you kind of push it in like that. You don't have to roll it up. Probably on the website they reckon you just push it in like that. It's as simple as that. And that can just go in your bug out bag, your day pack. If you're going somewhere and you think, well, I might be out for the night as well, there may be a possibility of staying out overnight. You don't have to take you don't have to take a tent. It's a lightweight option. But I mean, I've still got my reservations about it, because I do like my Army Gore-Tex Bivvy. I like the space in it. When I'm under a really small tarp like me still tarp one, which is it's 8 by 5 foot, but it's actually smaller than that. It's 7.5 foot by 4'9". When I'm under that, there's not much room for me gear. You know what I mean? You're just basically your person that's under there. With this, you can't get your gear inside here or your roll mat easily, but with the Army Gore-Tex Bivvy, you can shove your bag down the bottom. all your gear, your camera and everything can go to the side of you. It's just, you know, it's swings and roundabouts really. It's like, you know, this is the more minimal option, the more lightweight option. But, you know, there'll come a time where, you know, this isn't a very good option. Like, say, if it was constant, you know, we're into the autumn and winter's around the corner, you know, it's bad weather. And if it's raining all the time, you just don't want to be in a very small tarp in one of these. You know, you might want a tent, even if it's a single skin tent, for that added protection. But you've got this just for to protect your down-filled sleeping bag for the drips. And I think that's my philosophy. I treat this as to use in conjunction with a tarp or a shelter, rather than just on its own. But under an emergency situation, under, you know, if need be, you can sleep in this, and it'll keep you, you know, it will keep you waterproof, but I don't think it'll keep you 100% waterproof all night and drive in rain. And it's not a test I would want to try out either. But that's the Hunka Bivvy. Great bit of kit. Right, I better get packed away now and never mind. I'm waffling again, guys. Before I begin to waffle too much, I'll get away. I'm sure, you know, I'll leave no trace, and I'll maybe, because there was actually a little bit of firewood, some kindling had been left there. I'm going to do that. I'm going to leave a little bit of kindling there as a kind, just as a, well, it's courtesy, isn't it? You leave it for the next person that's coming on holiday. And always remember the wild camper saying, leave no trace. That's my breakfast. I'll eat that on the way home. All the best, guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.